Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekend Preview. Not behind the camera this week, or the computer I should say. Calvin, in the flesh, how are you, mate? It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Jack. I'm well, thanks.
That's good, mate. Before we move on to this weekend's runners, there's a little bit of a setback in South Australia with the COVID restrictions. The races got cancelled. They were run yesterday. As a trainer, from your perspective, how hard is it? You train them, people say, to the minute. How hard is it when, I suppose, you get a setback like this?
Yeah, look, it's not too bad. It was sort of, only missing a few days isn't too bad. What it does is it can impact on your next target. If you had a race planned out for them 10 days later or 2 weeks later, that obviously brings it in to be a little bit close. But all in all, for a matter of a week or so, it's not too bad.
We'll now move on to our weekend's runners. Morphetville, we have 7 runners, Calvin. The first comes in race 2, tab handicap over the 2,500 metres, where we have more than ever.
Yeah, he's consistently running well, this horse, without winning. We'd absolutely love to get him back in the winner's stall for the connections. He keeps running well, but running into 1 or 2 better. I think back up to 2,500 is the key on Saturday, and he's been going well at home, so he just needs to bring that to be very competitive.
Race 3, the Soul Growers handicap over the 1,100 metres, we have Siyaadeh.
Yeah, nice filly, won well last start. She's still learning and still quite green, but she stays at the 1,100 and give you an opportunity to win in town.
Race 4, the Twilight at Morphetville handicap 1,600 metres, where we have the daughter of the immortal Mackay Diva in Diva Nation.
Yeah, no, very excited for this mare to return. It's been a long wait. She's had a few issues in the past, and we've given her, and the owners have given her, the right amount of time. She's come off a little bit of surgery, but she was sort of trained here at Flemington until about 10 days ago, and she's been going really nicely, and obviously a mare that's going to be better and better over further, but I think she'll run really well fresh over a mile.
Race 7, we have the 2 runners, the Roadside Services City of Marion Stakes over the 1,200 metres. The first we'll talk about is Jentico.
Yeah, nice mare first up. She's got a great winning culture about her. I think she's won 6 or 7 races in her career, which is quite hard to do. And I think she might find this a little bit short, but she's very good when she gets to 7 furlongs.
The other runner is the last start winner in Savatoxl.
Yeah, I think we've got it right last start. We sort of, he's a Northern Territory, Alice Springs type of horse, and that's where he's done most of his racing and happened to win 12 races up there. So we sort of went back to those tactics of letting him roll out in front and controlling a race and breaking their hearts, and he did it beautifully for young Tegan Vaughan last start, and the owners have decided to keep her on, and he gets another crack at some black type here.
We'll move on to race 8. The Peter Elberg Funerals handicap over the mile, where we have Tignanello.
Yeah, Tignanello won really well his first start for us the other week. Trained on nicely, a few minor gear changes. He just happened to lug in a bit, hung a little bit when he hit the front or when he was in the front towards the end of the race, but he held them comfortably, and I think again he'll be nice and competitive.
Race 9, our last runner on the card, the Winning Edge Presentations handicap over 1,200 metres, we have Aten.
Yeah, this mare's got a lot of talent. She's a really good galloper, and again, she's been a bit hit and miss with soundness over the past few seasons, but we've treated her very cautiously, and she's going super at home according to Dad, and she could easily win this race first up and go on to do some nice things as prep, I think.
We'll now move on to Moonee Valley, where we have the 3 runners. The first comes in race 5, the Mackenzie Stakes at listed level, where we have Deep Speed. Third last start at the 1,400 metres. He was headed at the 150. How's he come through the run? And to me, it looks like from the 14 down to the 12 could be the key here.
Yeah, trainer error last start, I think. He won the maiden in Adelaide impressively. He went to Moonee Valley and won impressively, and there was that lovely race 8 days later, and he really bounced through that Moonee Valley race, and we decided to run him, and unfortunately due to the bad gates in those previous 2 runs, he sort of got sent a bit of a message to jump and go, And at Flemington over 1400, we really wanted to get a bit of cover with him because he does have an explosive turn of foot. But he just jumped the lid so clean. He flew them and landed in front, and I think he just probably brought himself undone a little bit first time at 7. I think you'll love that distance in time when he matures a little bit more. But yeah, we've just freshened him up. He's been at the beach, and his work at the Valley on Tuesday morning was super. He's obviously won there before, and I think he'll take a bit of beating, I do.
And he's $3.50 out for the punters at home who are keen to have a play. Race 7, benchmark 90 over the 2,040 metres, the Cox Plate distance. We have winning partner, 8th last start, but he was only 2.1 lengths off the winner. Before that, he won 2 listed races in concession, the Cup's King. He's got Lockie King on board. Can he bounce back to winning form?
Yeah, I really think he can. We're still sort of, it's going to be interesting to see if he runs a strong 2,000 metres. His form would suggest he's a miler. But look, we actually tried to get this horse into the Ballarat Cup, and any other year he would have gained a start, but it was so strong this year with the $500,000 prize money. He missed the ballot, unfortunately. So luckily there was this race a week later, and he's trained on well. He galloped at the Valley Tuesday morning as well. Worked really nicely there, and again down at the beach, and we'll go there tomorrow. And yeah, with the 2 kilo claim, the Derby winning jockey on board, I think he'd be a shout for sure. I can't fault him.
He's $7 out there for the punters at home. Last runner at Moonee Valley comes in race 8, the Cullinan Stakes at listed level over 1,000 metres, where we have Meteorite. Second last start as a short price favourite in a small field. First of all, what did you think of that run? He was been ultra consistent this prep, winning his first 2 starts. Big assignment here up to listed level. How do you think he's going to stack up?
Yeah, look, initially I was very disappointed the other night. Like, he was $1.50 and is flying at home and was before that and still is. And yeah, I just think that the winner, the eventual winner who had the 3 kilo claim, had him beat a long way from home. And whether that was maybe because Luke held him up a little bit, which if he'd won it would have been a perfect ride, but it might not suit this horse. When he broke the 10-year Moonee Valley track record over 9:55, Luke just let him stride, and he brought them all undone naturally. So that might be one thing. I'm not sure. The other thing was back from 1100 to 9:55 can often sometimes backfire. But look, we're treating this as if he won. This was the plan if he had won, and he ran second, and they ran 54.7, which is a very fast time. It's about 0.3 of a second slower than his record. So I'm really happy with him. He's been down the beach a lot this week, and I've done very little with him. He's just been poking along and ticking over, and he's lovely and sound. And I think he deserves a shot at this black type. I think if he'd won last week, he'd probably go around half the quote. So I'm happy with him, and I think he can bounce back in a strong each-way chance.
And he's $12 out there for the punters who are keen to get involved. Now the $1 million question, $100 to spend. Where's your hard-earned going?
How did I go last week?
You had 50 each way on
Violet. Moonee Valley. 50 each way on. What did I have? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I don't think it got up though.
It probably won, so I'll continue on. I think we should go deep speed. I'm really happy with him. I'd go $80 on him to win and $20 to win on Aten in the last in Adelaide.
Perfect. Cheers for those. Thanks for previewing the runners, and it's good to be able to do it face to face. Really appreciate your inside knowledge, and to the owners out there, hopefully you got something out of it, and hopefully Calvin has steered you into a couple of winners.
Thank you.